Advtech was listed on the JSE in 1987 and is another of the large diversified education, training and placement groups in South Africa. It operates some of South Africa's best known private school and tertiary college brands. The company has a market cap of 2.4 billion rand, a price to earnings ratio of 14.6 and a dividend yield of 4. Now that educational element and the private school element, I must admit, interests me as a parent in that there is a dearth of schooling in Gauteng. I'm not sure what other provinces are enduring, but certainly there's a dearth of schooling in this environment.
You know, the private sector options are pricey, but at least it works. You know, I don't know what some people think is going to happen with the state education system, but at this point I'm not hopeful. The Limpopo textbook saga has shown us that everybody likes to point fingers at everybody else. But unfortunately, at the end of the day, the entire environment seems extremely murky. So there's a huge opportunity for Curro and for Advtech to provide private options that are priced somewhere between what it costs to go to a state school or a Model C school and to go to St. Stithians or St. John's or St. Mary's, which are all, you know, more than 100,000 Rand a year. That's the market opportunities.
And Curro, although it is very expensive, deserves a mention at the end of the show. Remind me to come back to it because I think they've got themselves in a sweet spot here. Advtech, can you really look at the story and say it's one that you would be investing in?
Look, like the story is good. All you need to do is be a parent or an uncle and look at some
so
of the...
you're also feeling the pressure about schooling out there. I'm glad I'm not the only one.
And you just need to look at the waiting list for some of the decent schools and you get a sense that these guys should be tapping into that, and the stock price and earnings have reflected this decent growth in that sector. So overall, investors have been rewarded quite nicely over the last couple of years.
But at about this R5.80 level, is there more value to be had? It's relatively expensive right now.
Look, it's interesting because they don't have that many schools. I mean, they've got the Trinity colleges, they've got the Crawfords, and then they've got tertiary institutions like Vega, Varsity College, and so on. Given the nature of the opportunity we're talking about, I'm surprised they haven't built a massive number of additional schools. But Advtech has restrained itself and stayed largely to the upper end. Look, Cameron van der Berg, our gold medal swimmer, went to Crawford College in Pretoria. The reputation of these schools is increasing and improving every year.
And the waiting list for Crawford has just increased exponentially.
Now if you swim, not only now you must go there too. So this is all fine, but the funny thing is that this share price hasn't really done much. The other reason, though, we're supposed to be talking about this company now is because they've got a recruitment and staffing division.
Yes, I think we have to do a whole show on education because I still want to come back to Curro. Yes, the staffing and the recruitment operation.
Yeah, and so that's been okay-ish sort of business. I think they, have Brent personnel and a couple of other players in that space, and they also take the kids from their tertiary institutions and help find them jobs. So I think that's been a okay-ish division, but not as successful as the schools.
Tsepo, what would make you buy this stock at current levels? Is there anything that could happen that you would buy it at R5.80?
Look, if earnings doubled and it stayed at R5.80, then I'd probably be looking at this. I'd need the fundamentals to come a lot closer to valuations for us to jump into this.
Hot or not, Paul, on Advtech?
Yeah, I quite like it. I think it's a little bit of a sleepy stock, but if you compare it to Curro, which is on an incredible sort of excitement, hype-based thing, why do these guys trade on only a 14 PE? You know, they've got much bigger base, much better operation, more established, so I think they deserve to get more respect.
Hot or not?
Lukewarm, if I can say that, but
no, you can't.
Not hot,
it's got to be hot or not.
Not hot for me. Not hot for me. If I'm going in the sector, I'd much rather have this over Curro.